4 of the Furniture Flip Challenge. I'm Adam Beasley from Lazy Guy DIY and Makers Challenge Central. And we have a full crew tonight. We're going to have one more jumping on in hopefully a second. But let's introduce our panel. Let's start with Brian.
Hi, everybody. It is Brian Kramer, and I am the senior editor of Do It Yourself magazine from Better Homes and Gardens.
Thank you, sir. And Christina, our winner from last Furniture Flip Challenge. Tell us a little bit more who you are and where people can find you.
Hi, I'm Christina Mascari. I'm a furniture flipper and a full-time YouTuber, and now I'm a full-time Instagrammer and TikTok. I don't know how that happened, but you can find me at Pretty Distressed on Instagram and TikTok, and at Christina Mascari on YouTube.
Excellent. And Mr. Minerva.
Hey, I'm Graham, Minerva Enterprises. I do custom furniture and I restore mid-century and Danish modern furniture.
Excellent. And our special guest of the week, Rick.
Hey, I'm Rick Hidalgo. I'm an artist, painter, and sculptor from Wilmington, Delaware. I go by r.hidalgo art on all of the platforms. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, thanks, guys, for being here. And we have one more that's going to be hopefully joining us here in a minute. She's a West Coastie, so a lot of times people forget what time everything starts when you're in a different time zone. Ask Rachel, who's in Central, who's behind the scenes here, and always forgets what time it is. So thanks, everybody, for joining. What we're going to do is, as people are jumping on here, the one thing to remember is that if you leave comments, questions, anything else, we'll be able to see it from you guys that are viewing, and we'll be able to do a giveaway tonight. I think we're going to do an Amazon gift card of, I'm going to say it's $100. It's $100. Am I giving too much away? Yeah, it's $100. All right. So make sure you leave comments, questions, anything else for this crew. We're going to do a Q&A here also at some point. So make sure you ask those questions. All you got to do is just in the comment section of the YouTube, Facebook, whatever you're on, we'll see it. And then we're here for the good times. As Jennifer B says, here for the fun times. So hopefully we get Jenna on here in just a minute. But Jenna Pilant is our other host of Furniture Flip Challenge this go around. So she's full of color and bright and happy and everything else. So we hope we get her on here. But first, what we're going to do is this year we have a theme for Furniture Flip Challenge, and it is texture. And we worked with our friends from Do It Yourself magazine, and they came up with a theme. So Brian, you want to tell us why we went with texture this year?
Sure. Texture is kind of the unsung hero of decorating and remodeling and design. If you're afraid of color, explore texture. If you think you've figured out color, you know what? Maybe you can go back and add that layer of texture, because your texture is giving you the layers. It's giving you depth and feeling, literally, and it's also giving you a visual feeling. And so, we wanted just to see what people could do. And we've been so pleasantly surprised the last 3 seasons by everybody's creativity. So we wanted to see what they could do to add texture and also to bring back like beautiful texture in some of those classic pieces, because there's just so many gorgeous grains and other carved details. We really wanted a chance to celebrate those also. So texture, because it feels good.
So where is somewhere that people can add texture right away in their place, in their house or apartment or wherever?
Well, texture, of course, in your soft goods is such an easy way, whether it's your bed, your sofa, a chair, to bring that in. I was reading actually about somebody who is really into texture and recommending it. And they said, think of texture like coming up with a color palette, but you're coming up with a texture palette. So you think, what textures do I love? I love leather plus linen, plus I love like what walnut looks like, the grain of walnut. Well, you put those 3 together, you've got a whole look for a project, for a room, maybe even a whole house. And you didn't have to figure out what style you were or what color palette you were working in. You're just going with stuff that feels good and that you want to touch and have your eye linger on a little bit. So yeah, but I would recommend pillow. Get a pillow that you just want to touch and just want to have close to you, and put it on your bed every morning. You will feel good just like making that bed.
Excellent. That's I think as as a person that's a touchy-feely, you need everything else. I think that's a great recommendation. But then you get into the problem of too many pillows everywhere. So that's okay. So I just saw a question come through. I think it was from Vicky from Mother Daughter Project. She was asking if anybody's working on an Eames style chair. And in fact, we are. That would be Graham from Minerva Enterprises. And Graham, let's start with this, and we can show pictures of it right now. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Here is a look of what you're starting with right now, and then show the damage.
Yeah, not yet. So I found this on Facebook for like $25. It's not a real Eames lounge chair. It's one of the replicas. I think this one was by Plycraft. Still pretty comfortable, just not as collectible as the original Eames chairs. This one had a bunch of damage, so if you want to throw up the next picture.
Yep.
This is pretty much what I've been working on all week. I got everything taken apart and stripped down, and this is the base, the seat base. So I had to dig all this out and put in new plywood layers. So that's what I've been working on. It's all on my stories and my Instagram. So it's a pretty interesting process so far. It's pretty fun.
Is this one, did you say, is this one you were out for a run and you found, or was that a different one when you were at Workbench Con? That was a different one.
No, it was a different one. So I found this one first on Facebook, and I did find another one with a tan leather when I was out on a run just on the street.
And tell everybody how you brought it back.
Yeah, I carried it like above my head. I had to walk a mile. I could have run with it.
You should have ran a mile. You were only 2 miles in at that point, so it's okay. All right. So, Christina, let's show what you were working on.
Yay. This is my only second MCM piece that I've ever been able to find in Nashville, Tennessee. So I'm really excited.
So what's the game plan? Because you went crazy color blocks last time with your win. Do you share?
I'm glad I don't have to use lots of color because I really, really relate with what Brian was saying. I'm such a neutral person. Last year was really, really hard for me, but I do like to incorporate texture because I want to have, if I'm doing a single color and it's neutral, I do want it to have, something, some intrigue, some interest. So I'm really excited about this. I am trying a technique that has been kind of popping up a lot in the furniture flipping industry. And I love, I know Brian picked this topic months ago, and it's so insane how the trends before they start trending, because everything that's been happening at the beginning of this year is this linen texture is everywhere in furniture flipping. And I have not got to try it yet. So you're basically using the paint and a glazing medium and a really wiry nylon brush to create a grass cloth look on your furniture. So I'm still deciding between colors, but the base is going to be natural because this is an all wood piece. It's actually in pretty good shape, but the finish on it is chipping. So I would have to completely sand it back anyways. And I'm not as patient as Graham is. When I grow up, I want to be Graham, but for now I'm DIY Christina. So I want to keep some of that natural wood in the base, but then the rest of the piece is going to have that linen finish to it. And I tested boards today. So I'm choosing between navy and like a really dark, rich green. And they're both really pretty. So I don't know how I'm going to choose, but I got to test out the technique today and I'm really, really excited.
Awesome. While we're trying to get Jenna on board here, we're having some technical difficulties. We have a couple questions and we'll just ask right now. So Annetta is asking, how long have each of you, for Graham and Christina, been flipping and restoring furniture?
I've been in business for about 3 years. So I started as a woodworker, and in between custom projects, I just started finding furniture that I liked that I just started restoring. So, about 3 years.
What about you, Christina?
I have been flipping since 2013. A long time.
You've been at it for a while. All right.
And back when I started flipping, people said, painting furniture is trendy. That will never last. And here we are.
So it was all chalky paint, right?
It was all chalky paint. And like my handle is pretty distressed. And all I did was farmhouse and distress, and actually lots and lots of texture. So, you know, it comes back around. But yeah, things have definitely evolved, but painting is still around. It's great.
Excellent. So I'm actually gonna grab one more question here. We're still trying to work Jenna in here. So next question for you guys from Alexa: how do you get small mold stains out of wood, or do you just seal it, or how do you seal it? Graham, that might be you.
Well, I guess it really depends on what it is. If it's like a water stain, or if it's like actually mold. But usually, I start with chemical stripping and then work my way down to try and sand it out. If that doesn't work, sometimes I'll use like a wood bleach to kind of bleach out that water stain or that mold color. It's an oxalic acid is a wood bleach. It's also like the main ingredient in Barkeeper's Friend. So you can find that at, like Home Depot or home stores.
Awesome. All right. I am sorry, I'm actively trying to get Jenna in the room here so she can add her her pizzazz and fun to us. But Rick, we're gonna go to you right now, actually. So Rick is our he's our special guest. He's an artist and he specializes in texture. And we've got some pretty cool looking things up here that we're going to share that Rick has worked on. And Rick, if you kind of want to, the reason why we have you on is because people here are trying to add texture to their furniture pieces, and you have some amazing options that we can show. I'm going to pull this first one up here. Can you kind of give an idea of what's going on and how you did this?
Oh, of course. Yeah. So thanks so much for the compliment. This piece is actually from a show I did a few years ago. It was titled Blackout. It was a monochromatic show. Everything in the show was black only. And so it's funny, you mentioned that earlier, being afraid of color and going straight to texture. I wouldn't say that I'm afraid of color, but I feel that there's a subtle beauty in how the light interacts with a lot of these textures that I've used. This piece is made with epoxy resin. I'm constantly trying to figure out how I can work with materials in new or unconventional ways. So this epoxy resin is your average like Moss epoxy. It has a working time of about 45 minutes to an hour and 15 minutes. Just depends kind of what environment you're in, the temperatures and all of that. So I typically will set a timer after I mix my epoxy if I want to go through with this process. I'll time it to about 45 minutes, and then I'll babysit that bucket of resin as soon as that timer beeps. The honey or the viscosity of resin is kind of like honey when you first mix it up, and then it starts to thicken greatly, kind of like taffy, and you can pull it and string it. The harder it gets and the longer it is, curing in that cup. So I wait for it until it's almost getting ready to set up, and I'll string it like a taffy maker. And that's how I'm getting those defined lines that are still holding, the depth. So they're a little bit an eighth of an inch, I would say, those lines. And I really love the fact that you can get this, the reflective properties, but it also looks like it is a fabric or it is woven, and it is kind of like that linen that you guys have been mentioning.
Yeah, it is absolutely amazing, and I'm just going to show a couple of your other pieces here, Rick. So these are actually these are gummy bears, aren't they?
Oh, there are thousands of gummy bears. This was a 16-piece grid. Each one of those, I think they were 8x8 panels, had a couple hundred gummy bears and some shattered glass. And I actually have another one of these pieces that I just finished that's going down to the Palm Beach Contemporary at the end of this month. It'll be showing there with the guy who ate the banana from Art Basel. I don't know if
really? Took him off
I'm showing with him.
That's amazing. And I got one more piece for you here, if you want to kind of talk about this one as well.
Yeah, so this was actually a flip. So I bought this. The base and the top were both an old IKEA table, probably from like late 90s. So this was actually a flip. So I bought this. And so, sorry, I was getting some feedback there. Yeah. So I bought this, and it was probably $20. I decided I was going to refinish it with red, kind of before the river tables were popular. And I decided I was going to do a monochromatic color scheme. And kind of like that kind of direction. I grew up in a family of all hospital workers and in the medical field. So if you zoom into this table and like look at a little, kind of looks like maybe what our contest at the end is going to look like, trying to identify different slides of microscopic images, you know? And this was done with alcohol ink and epoxy resin in multiple layers. There's ink suspended on each layer and kind of, you know, woven on top of each other.
It's amazing. It almost looks like some of them like just like octopus tentacles and other things in there. So it's beautiful.
Thank you. That was a great flip too.
Absolutely. Jenna, you made it.
Hi.
Jenna, sorry for technical difficulties. Well, we got you on though. So Jenna, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. I'm Jenna Pilant of Room Bloom Design. I am a interior designer / furniture upholsterer based here in San Diego. So sorry about being late to the party.
That's okay. I was furiously trying to text you and email at the same time while we're doing all this as well.
I was like, oh, I'm good. I like got in here and then I wasn't.
my backstage person, Rachel, is not helping at all. So you're worthless, Rachel. Shaking her head.
She was helping. She was trying.
So Jenna, everybody else has showed what they're working on right now. So I'm going to put an image up right now, and you want to tell us about your flip?
You mean the lack of work I've done?
Oh, that's okay. Hey, lazy guy DIY. I don't do anything till the very last minute, so it's okay. So in this picture,
that's usually not my MO, but you know, life is crazy good at the moment with everything going on. Yeah, that's the built-in in our formal dining room. It is the last wood built-in in the main part of the house that hasn't been painted. I know for you, you know, purists out there are cringing right now at the thought of me painting it, but the entire house just has entirely way too much wood. We actually called it the 50 Shades of Beige house when we moved in. It was tan on taupe, on ivory, on beige, on vanilla. Yeah. Everything that kills this color lover's soul.
And like you, in this place where you live, you like actually dug down into the floor, built like a major like sunken area, like seating area and stuff. It is crazy how much you've done.
Yeah, you know, I'm a born and raised Nebraska farm girl, and my dad would pay for nothing to be out on the farm. So I spent my summers doing stock theater, and at night, during the day, I, you know, that's a technical term. Use the word. It's called olden days whitewashing, but I would like whitewash the buildings and stuff like that. It's just white paint, but I'm guessing that's not a correct terminology anymore. But yeah, so a very hands-on interior designer, not your usual you know, just doing the design. I'm really like to be hands-on. But yeah, I can't wait to transform that space and use the theme of texture.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see what you're going to do, and we know it's going to be colorful no matter what you do. So
actually, I might catch your guys off a little guard with what I'm going to do with the texture.
It's just going to be all white and black, right? You're going to take the a book out of Rick's book, and you're going to go all black, right?
No.
Okay.
If anyone had seen me, I would just look like a floating head.
So let me see here. I'm gonna grab one or two more questions. Then we're gonna play a game here, and then we only have a few minutes. This is going so quickly. So, question from Susan Williams: what is the easiest way to strip paint from spindles? Anybody want to jump in on that?
Chemical stripper. Unfortunately, wouldn't you agree, Graham? Off of spindles? Or a heat gun. I like heat guns, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, just make sure you wear gloves.
I don't know. So regular. Well, I mean, I tend to go. I love a good old citrus stripper. So, and that gets into like the crevices of the spindle. So I would maybe take that as well and maybe wrap it in saran wrap and let it really soak into the crevices.
I usually find the citrus strip takes a little longer, so I just use like the 15-minute stripper, and then like wear gloves, and then you put it on the spindle, and then you have gloves on and take like a piece of steel wool to kind of like rub it up and down, and then
that's
neutralize the stripper.
Faster.
But yeah, there's lots of ways you could do the heat gun, or you could sand it off.
Yeah, it just depends on how, like, if you're gonna wait till the last minute, then definitely Graham's way is the way to go. I tend to go more of the what would you use the word, Graham? Gentler route with the citrus stripper, but I'm tending to work with like really old vintage pieces with upholstery. So sometimes the really heavy duty stripper can just, destroy that old wood.
I am fighting back stripper jokes so hard right now. So
I know my 13-year-old boy brain. I'm like,
so one more question we're gonna grab here for Brian. In Australia, we're seeing this is from Jill. In Australia, we're seeing a real celebration of muted and complex greens. Is this the same in the US?
Oh yeah, green is huge. I think green started, pretty early on in quarantine, and then just sort of, post quarantine, but still COVID life. I think it's just green is natural. It's energizing, but it doesn't get you overstimulated. And green is a neutral. People, you can even have a hunter green or a sage green, and it almost works just like a khaki or a gray in your home. So yeah, I think greens are still going strong. I've seen some bolder blues coming into the mix, kind of displacing those greens, but I think greens came on strong, and greens are still here.
Excellent. All right, are you all ready for a game? I think you all are ready for a game. So
I'm a little nervous.
That's okay. Hey, so what we're going to do is I have 8 pictures that are microscopic images. I'll give you an A or a B. You have to guess what it is. And if you're wrong, if you have a drink, take a drink. If you are following along and watching with us, use in the chat or the comments as well. Just give us a guess of what you think it is. So let me pull it up here. Our first one, and so I guess whatever your choice is, you go with a 1, stick a 1 up if you're here on the panel, or a 2 for the second one. So, all right, our first one here. Let me find it. Give me 1 second. All right, our first one here. Is this snakeskin, number 1, or plant fibers, number 2? What do you guys think it is? All right, I see some 2s. Let's see, twos all around. That's plant fibers. It was an easy one. You guys know I like to warm it up pretty easily here. So, all right, the second one. This is much easier than we had our IKEA one of what is it that we named it. It was
yeah, that was tough.
That was so bad. All right, here's our second one here. Is this 1, peacock feathers, or 2, a plastic bag? Let's see. Does everybody have their votes in? All right, we got a little bit of everything here. Oh no! So the answer is 2, a plastic bag.
It's the oil. It's the oil, right? Is that why
I
it
know,
looks like
it's pretty
that?
crazy, right? Yeah.
Dang.
Stained glass.
I know. I would buy
Yeah.
that.
Beautiful.
Before you said plastic bag, I thought you were going to say leaf or something. But
Yeah. All right. Number 3. Is this sweet and low, like crystals of sweet and low, or a computer chip? So 1, sweet and low, or 2, a computer chip?
I'm thirsty.
All right. We have a little bit of division here. The answer is 1, sweet and low. I think these things are pretty awesome. I was looking at them and I was like, these are amazing.
that's crazy. I would have never. Yeah.
I was kind of joking. I didn't think it was sweet and low.
Yeah.
I was just thirsty,
All right. Number 4. Is this 1, a fish scale, or 2, A condom.
Oh,
Before or after?
All right. We're waiting on some votes.
What the hell?
All right. So
there's so many things going through my mind right now, but I'm just gonna hold my hand up.
it is actually a condom, believe it or not. So
Wow. Hmm.
My cheeks are
Hey.
red.
so
Tomorrow.
look how red I have turned right now. I'm embarrassed for myself, and I made up this game. All right, this was supposed to be a family-friendly game. Who put this in here? Okay, number 5. We're only doing 8 of these. Don't worry, folks. Number 5. Is this a beetle shell or a compact disc?
Wow.
1, a beetle shell, or 2, a compact disc?
Oh, two.
All right, the answer is a compact disc.
Really cool. It looks like an old record.
Doesn't it? Yeah.
Gramophone. You could see the notches probably.
The notches,
from,
yeah.
Do you have what the beetle shell was, or no?
No, I just made that up. I was trying to get it close. So, all right, number 6. Is this milk or let it glass?
Mm.
So
Or what
1
glass?
milk, let it glass.
Leaded.
Like
Let
old,
it.
like
Oh, let
yeah.
it.
All right,
Oh, let it.
we got our votes. It's actually milk.
What?
So, yeah.
Mm.
Well, that's
I should
interesting.
probably know that.
So, all right, 2 more to go. Number 7. Is this a magazine cover or a toenail?
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh man.
I hope.
All right. All right, we got some division. That's a magazine cover.
oh, that's
Thank
good.
God.
So,
I
Brian,
didn't
did
know
you
the layers. Oh.
Brian, did you get that one?
I did get that one.
Okay.
Magazines, there actually is a lot of layers of finish that go into that.
See, that's not fair. Brian has the inside scoop on that.
But does
on
he
that
have
one.
like an electron microscope working at the magazine covers? Probably not. All right, here is our last one. Number 8. Is it 1, stained glass, or 2, a coin?
It's beautiful, whatever
It is, isn't it?
It's never what I think it is, so I'm gonna go with 2.
All right, Graham, what are you going with? All right, the answer is it's a coin.
Wow.
Wow.
Why that's a coin? I don't know. I found it on the internet, so it must be true.
What kind of coin?
I don't know, but it's a coin.
It seems
That's
like it
all
would
I
be a
know.
penny.
That's
Yeah,
what I
that's
was
what I was guessing. It
thinking.
was like the copper or something. Penny, so.
Yeah.
All right, that was our game. Thanks, guys, for playing along. Thanks for everybody that was in the chat that was playing along as well. So we are close to time, but we kind of started a little bit late, so we can go another minute or 2 here. And we have our shots of the week. So we have some great stuff that we're going to share from some people that are working on some projects. These are the befores. So this is Novo Tessero Furniture. It looks like she found an old record player. Or a old,
That's rad.
so I can't wait to see what she does with this. So there's a couple shots of it. I think she said she found it on the street. So
Oof.
hopefully she can get this thing working.
I'm
So,
jealous.
our next one is from Teacher's Hobby, and I think she's deciding between 2 of these, and I think she's a little bit freaked out about what she wants to do with this and taking this on right now. But hopefully she just limits it to just one project. And this is, let's see, Jab Furniture Hab. So this one actually was pretty cool. She opened it up, or he or she, I don't remember. Sorry. But they opened it up. Everything was pretty good. So this should be a fun one to add some texture to. And
Oh, they
let's
better watch
do-
out. People hate when you make those over on the internet.
Oh,
They
yeah.
will-
Yeah, they do.
But
I was
it'll
just
be
thinking the
good.
same thing, Christina. I was like bracing for whoever it was. Like, oh,
They'll get
It's all right,
compliments from me.
We'll see what happens. Maybe they're just refinishing and not painting.
Okay.
So we'll see. All right, here's another one from Rosie Refurbishings. So one that was found in everybody's house during the 90s, I can tell.
I was pretty sure that's my parents' dresser.
Yeah. I think that hardware was on my sister's bedroom furniture as well. I think everybody had that. And then our last one here is from Joanna Cox. And she is doing a piano that has so much texture in it already.
Piano makeovers.
Yeah. That's beautiful.
I mean, good
so
luck.
Beautiful.
I would be panicked. All the little everything on there to clean up. Yeah. Good luck to you.
Oh, she's got it. She's got it.
She's got it. I'm not a furniture flipper. I'm just the hostess, so it's okay. Okay, we're gonna grab. I'm gonna grab 3 more questions, and we get you guys out of here because we said we'd only do 30 minutes. So let's see here. Let's grab. I'm running through here. This is from Barbara. What is your favorite paint right now? You guys, what's your favorite paint?
Just
and anybody can jump in. Yeah. Or what? Maybe favorite color, favorite brand. What are you using?
Jenna's a bear. She loves the bear. I have so many favorites, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but I saw one of my friends is on here, and she's actually a small business owner, and she just launched her own paint line this year, and her name is Yadi, and her paint line is Lily Moon Paint, and she's based out in Knoxville, Tennessee. So support a small business. Shop small.
Can you say that one more time, Christina, the name?
Lily Moon Paint.
Very fun.
And her color palette is gorgeous.
All right. And I have another question here, wanting to define texture again for everybody. What is allowed for texture? So, Brian, you went through at the beginning and talked about texture and why we chose it. But what do you consider texture? Since you're a judge for who the winner is, what would you consider out of bounds for texture?
I would cast a wide net for what texture is. I think that texture has 2 qualities to think about. Texture has, when you touch it, how does it feel? But there's also visual texture. You're sensing, your eye is seeing a pattern. So you could have a flat surface. Rick's table has a lot of texture, but I'm sure that finish was ultimately very smooth. And from a tactile purpose, you weren't getting, any ups and downs there. You were just getting the kind of visual stimulation of it. So yeah, I think it's about the variety of, golly, it's like trying to define what is texture. It's, yeah, you just help
You did
me.
a great job, Brian. You did great.
Yeah, you did
when you
awesome.
feel it.
Like, it's, to me, Brian, if I can interject, it's also it's just like a trend. Like, a trend is a trend, but like, take that trend and make it your own.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a lot with like texture. Like, I am definitely doing the latter, like what Brian was talking, where it's more the visual. So I'm excited. Like, that's the thing is, you guys, like, when a new trend or something's hot at the moment, take what that is, but don't let the trend itself kill your creativity. Take what that encapsulates and make it your own, if that makes sense. That's what I do with a lot of my projects. I'll see something that I get inspired by, and then I'm like, but I'm going to put a little Jenna or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, little flair.
Flair.
But
Right.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do 2 more questions, and then I'm gonna have you all. A lot of people are asking where to find you all again, but 2 more questions that we have. Everybody wants to know, where do you find stuff on Facebook Marketplace? What's the best way to do that?
Look
I
every
agree. You
day.
have a whole strategy also.
The first thing, you got to kind of curate the things that you look at.
Mhm.
So like, I use the save button a lot. So like, even if you're not going to buy it or if it's too expensive, just save it. And that'll kind of like dictate some of the things you're going to see in the future. Does that make sense? So like, just keep doing. And then you got to kind of always be looking, or set notifications for keywords. So you get them on your phone and then you just like pop one there. Because a lot of times you got to be fast.
Mm.
And somebody had asked what MCM was before, and that's mid-century modern. So we'll just to find that. That's Graham's bread and butter.
Yeah.
And then Jenna or Christina, do you all want to add anything else for Facebook Marketplace or where you all find your furniture?
Honestly, get out of the house. Get off your computer. Get out of the house. Go driving. You know, look up Google Maps, like thrift stores, whatnot. I don't know. Like I myself, as an interior designer, haven't had too much luck on Facebook Marketplace. Granted, I'm in Southern California, so I feel like all of the good stuff people aren't letting go of. But yeah, I would say if you aren't having luck online, like go find out where your Habitat for Humanity restore is and pay it forward and get something. A lot of my pieces, like most of the pieces in our home that you've seen on my YouTube channel or me reupholster, I found that either on the side of the road or I walked into some like garage sale randomly. Like you just never know when you're going to find a diamond in the rough.
Absolutely.
I like
All right.
Goodwill.
Goodwill.
That's
That's a
another
good
great
one.
one.
Yeah. So.
All right. Our last question is going to go to Rick. Rick, if you had to choose a color other than black, what color would you go with for your work?
Oh,
Ooh,
wow. No, I'm just kidding. I would say blue. I mean, I'm really into the bold blues. Brian was talking about it earlier. Ever since I was young, I've just been into that color. I gravitate towards it for everything and anything. So that's what I would say.
Awesome. And we're actually going to close up now, guys. So thanks everybody that joined, everybody that commented. We did have a winner for our Amazon gift card. That is Vega Creative Life. So if you can message on Instagram at Makers Challenge Central, let us know and we'll make sure we get a gift card to you. So thanks everybody for watching, participating, and to send it out here. Rick, where can people find you?
r.hidalgo art on TikTok and Instagram, and definitely make sure I have a sale launching this Tuesday, the 15th, on at abstractduke.com, but Abstract Duke on Instagram.
Awesome. And Brian, I'm going to flash the latest issue up here for you real quick. Do It Yourself magazine.
So pretty.
Awesome.
And-
Got some texture happening there and some green.
Yes.
That's right. Touch it all. Okay, Brian, where can people find you?
Well, you can find me at Do It Yourself magazine, and you can find me at any newsstand. That's the issue that's on sale, and the summer issue ships on Monday, actually.
All right.
So it's we're always ahead. So yep.
The next string coming out. All right, Graham.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm at Minerva Enterprises on Instagram. I'm also on YouTube and TikTok.
Don't do TikTok.
How
You're
is
just
it
too
over
late,
there on
Adam.
the TikTok?
Horrible.
That's okay.
It's been slow recently. It's tough.
I was saying, I get like 10 views on every TikTok.
We can do a whole show on TikTok. We'll do that next time. All right, Jenna, where can people find you?
I am pretty much just at Jenna Pilant and everything you can look up people on. And then there, on YouTube, if you have Room Bloom on the search column or just my name, Jenna Pilant. But yeah, come
Awesome.
join me on the colorful side of the internet.
There we go. And Christina, where can people find you?
I'm going to make it easy for everybody. Just go to prettydistressed.com and anything you want to find. We got blog, we got YouTube, we got Instagram. So just go to prettydistressed.com and you'll be able to find what you want.
Great. And I am Adam from Lazy Guy DIY and Makers Challenge Central. You guys have 1 week down of the Furniture Flip Challenge. You got 2 weeks to go. Can't wait to see what you're doing. So make sure you're tagging everything. And as you post stuff, tag us at Makers Challenge Central as well. We love that collaboration button if you hit that on the tags, and then we'll reshare in our feed as well. If it's cool. If it's not cool, we're not sharing it. So thanks, guys. And we will see you again on, I think it's going to be the 25th. We're going to skip a week in between here, and we'll be back on the 25th for our last live. Thanks, guys. Everybody have a good one.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Bye, y'all.